just kind of big picture, I mean, it feels like this team is poised to, put together a really strong second half here. Curious if it feels like you're kind of pressing the reset button in the bye week, putting those first 8 games behind you, and moving on to the second half of the season.
You hit it right on the nose. We just trying to go out there and start with the Giants. We know we got some positives that happened to us over the break. We got healthy. It's a lot of guys coming back, and now we're just trying to put the work in this week, one day at a time, and go 1-0.
Ed and then Les.
Hi, Brandon, on that subject of facing the Giants, what's it like whenever you see a division team the second time around, especially when you had as tight a game as you had with them a few weeks ago here?
It's all about going out there and executing. You got to throw the first punch, because playing that second team is hard, and we gonna fight both ways, on trying to get as many points as we can. I think that it's all about just throwing that first punch and just keep it consistent, execute.
Les and then John McMullen.
Hey, BG. So it looks to me like the Giants' offensive line has really improved during the course of the season from where they were when they started out like and whatever. What do you see there? What have they done? How are they playing better?
They have a good blocking scheme. The way they, been sticking on blocks and the way they've been just designing their runs, they do a pretty good job up front. You're right. They have gotten better since we last seen them. And I think, like I say every week, I mean, it's no guarantees in this league. You got to go work for what you want. And I think they've been working, and we got our hands full. We got to go out there and do our part.
Will Devonta Freeman make much of a difference? He'll be in this game, I guess. They're not sure about that, but it's possible.
Oh yeah, Devonta Freeman. I mean, playing against him, I know how downhill he is. He's electric too, but we just can't get him started.
Thank you.
John and then Zach.
Hey, BG. I don't know if you noticed, but you've been getting a lot of love for your play in the first half of the season from some national guys saying it's your best season. Obviously, the sacks are up. I'm just curious. You've been playing well for a while now. How do you kind of rate yourself? Do you think this is your best season?
I feel really good. I feel like I've done a lot of good things this season, and yes, I do feel like it's starting to become one of those seasons I can remember. And so I just got to keep putting that work in. I'm feeling good. I try to take care of my body every day, and man, I'm just giving it everything I got.
Zach and then Martin.
Hey, Brandon, we've asked you a few times about reaching double-digit sacks, but you're at a point now where you're 2 back from the league lead, and that seems like a possibility. What do you think is going to be the number that it takes to lead the league in sacks, and do you think it's realistic for you?
I mean, who knows, man? I'm feeling really good where I am right now, and I know that all I got to do is keep working. Whatever happens. But I try not to put a number on it, but right now, double digits, yes, is in my sights for the first time, and I want to make sure I just keep on working, not try to go out there and reach and do nothing different that I have been, just letting the plays come to me, doing everything within the scheme and enjoying my teammates because I know they are the ones who helped me get to that point. Because without the corners doing what they do and the linebackers doing what they do, I don't get sacked. So I'm happy though. Everything I wanted has started fast for me this year.
Martin and then Jeff Skaversky.
Hey, Brandon. In addition to like that 80-yard run that Daniel Jones had, what did you learn about him from the previous game? Maybe both as a passer, as a runner, and what kind of things? How can that help you like going forward in this game?
Just like with any quarterback, you don't want to give him too many opportunities. He took advantage of some opportunities that we gave him, and we know that he's a good quarterback, and he's fast, and they doing a lot of that, running the quarterback, a lot because of his speed. So we got to make sure that we stay technically sound and play within the defense, do everything, be where you're supposed to be, because he is a guy that can make all the throws, and now we seeing that they running him a lot too.
Hey, Brandon, kind of going back to the questions about your personal success, all the sacks. What do you think the biggest difference has been for you this season compared to maybe other years? Are you just getting to the quarterback? Is it something that you maybe did this offseason? Is it a mindset? Is it all the above? What do you think the biggest difference is?
I think just learning how to rush a lot better in those moments. Try to always remind yourself because certain sacks that I was I was missing a lot of sacks, and the way I'll come in so fast and all it takes is a quarterback just to step up just a little bit and I'm sliding off of them. It's so much. I feel like I'm playing a lot faster, but the game has slowed up even more for me, and being able to obviously get there. I've been able to get there sometimes because of my teammates, sometimes because I beat the tackle, and they just been coming to me. But I am appreciative, and I'm just having fun, man. In year 11, and I think that is more to come.
I see 2 more hands raised, so we'll go Dave Zangaro and then Ed Kratz.
Hey, BG, I know you probably didn't see it last week, or 2 weeks ago, but Dallas Goedert had a few nice blocks on a defensive end from Dallas. Just wondering if you've been on the receiving end of any of those blocks in training camp.
No, I haven't. I see him, a whole lot. He definitely is strong. When we go against each other, it's always a battle. I don't win every time, but I do know that he's given a little more in the game because some of those hits, I'm like, woo, okay, got it. I didn't know he had it in him, but I know that I knew that at this point, once he got healthy, he had it in him because he's shown previous years. But now seeing him, I know the game's just slowing down for him, and he just out there showing what he can really do.
Hey, BG, just you may have answered some of this, but on the brink of your first double-digit sack season and possible Pro Bowl berth, do you allow yourself to think about that, or do you try to block that out and just kind of take one day at a time?
You know what? I enjoy it as I go. I try to not block it out and do nothing like that. But I said that I'm not gonna go out there just reaching for plays, reaching for sacks. That's not how it's been coming to me anyway. I've been just having fun, doing just wanting to make a play, and really just doing everything within the scheme of what plays are being called and just being where I'm supposed to be.
We saw you in the Dallas game. It looked like maybe you weren't completely back to 100%. Where are you now? Do you expect to be a bigger part of the offense this week? I know they said last time that you hadn't really practiced that much and they hadn't really put you in the game plan. I would assume that's not the case this week.
Yeah, I don't know. I mean, I felt pretty good by the game. I thought I looked pretty good out there. I thought I played a really good game. But, there's a little bit of discomfort in there, but feeling a lot better. The bye week gave an extra week, so I feel real good coming into this game.
We'll go Dave and then Ed Kratz.
Hey, Dallas, right now at this point in your career, I know you had just the one catch in the last game, but do you feel like you can make a really positive impact on the game with your blocking ability, even if you're not catching balls?
Yeah, I can't control the amount of targets I get, the amount of catches I get. But every time I run a route, my goal is to put a win on tape. But yeah, I think my blocking has just kept improving year to year. I think I did a great job last week blocking. I definitely think it's a strength of mine. And I think it can help this offense a lot in multiple different ways, whether it's the run, play action, stuff like that. I think it can make a big impact.
Hey, Dallas.
Go ahead, Ed.
I'm sorry, Allie. Dallas, just first of all, your conditioning, how was it? And then second of all, you're getting a lot of pieces back here. You're one of them. I mean, how excited are you for the second half of the season and making a run at another NFC East title?
Yeah, last week I did get a little bit, or when we played Dallas, I got a little tired out there, here or there, having 4 weeks off, not a lot of prep, getting ready to it. I was a little winded here and there. I think I played like 85% of the snaps, so it was to be expected. But it's a lot better this week. Had the off season or the bye week to get back into shape. So feeling really good out there. And like you said, we are starting to get pieces back, which is really exciting. Anytime we get to add good players to the team, it can only make us better.
We'll go Jeff and then John McMullen.
Dallas, I know you haven't played a lot without Zach, but there have been some games you have played without him. And I'm wondering how defenses are playing you when he isn't out on the field. Are you seeing more cornerbacks and safeties, or are you still seeing a lot of linebackers?
Even when Zach was on the field, there was just select few times that I did get a linebacker. It wasn't too often. I still was getting a linebacker and safety. But, yeah, now without Zach, it's definitely more and more. Still kind of depends on the defense that they're running. If it's zone, it'll be different. If it's man, it'll be different. Sometimes they'll just have the safeties back helping, and it will be a linebacker. But without him, I definitely saw more safeties. I saw a corner a couple times. It just kind of depends.
So John and then Martin.
Hey, Dallas. We were talking to Brandon Graham earlier, and he was mentioning your blocking and how you've improved since you got here. You really had a couple really nice blocks against the Cowboys. How much pride do you take in that, and the fact that obviously back in college you were more of a receiver?
Yeah, I take a lot of pride into it. When I first got to the league, obviously Zach was here, so kind of the blocking was my way onto the field, and I've just been able to get better and better at it, learn little things. But I take a lot of pride in it. I like to think I'm one of the people in the trenches. I get to hang out with the O-line, I get to hang out with the wide receivers. I get the best of both worlds.
Go ahead, Martin.
Hey, Dallas. You obviously haven't had much game experience with Travis and Jalen Reagor. I was just kind of wondering, what you've kind of noticed from them. I mean, I know the last couple of weeks, really, it's been the first time that all three of you guys been on the practice field together. So, just your thoughts on all that.
Yeah, it's fun. Both practice and games with those young guys are a ton of fun. They have a lot of energy. They're flying around. They're both playmakers. You've seen what Travis has done, going up and getting it, catching touchdowns, just doing everything we ask of him. And that's the same thing. Getting Jalen back's been awesome. He's an explosive guy. Big things are to come from him. He's a great player. He brings a lot of energy. He's a fun guy to be playing with out there.
We'll go to Bo next.
Hey, Dallas, I've got sort of an odd one for you. We've seen JJ Arcega-Whiteside, how good he is as a blocker downfield and stuff. Do you think that eventually he could, if he wanted to, he could become a tight end?
That's tough. That'd be a decision that they would have to make. If he really wanted to make the switch, he probably could. It's more of a mindset than anything. But I think he's got some things he needs to improve on. I think he will do that, and I think he'll be where he wants to be. He just needs to keep working.
As you get more playing time and, you're back from the injury, how much more comfortable do you think you will get? And as we have seen other receivers across the league, rookies have success, do you feel like you'll be able to have the same amount of success in the second half of the season as you get more comfortable and as you play more?
Absolutely. I'm just going to make the most of my opportunities and do what the offense and the demands of me, doing on the field. And I'm just going to continue to grow and perfect my craft each and every week.
Steve and then Martin.
Hey, Jalen, kind of a general question here, but what motivates you?
My family. That's the ultimate thing. My family motivates me. And that's what I feel like a lot of people get it misunderstood, but I really don't worry about a lot of things, and I control what I can control.
Martin and then Les.
Hey, Jalen, you and Travis really haven't had much time together as in practice as the receivers. I mean, he was on the practice. Well, he was late, and he was on the practice squad. You were injured, and then obviously you both came back and played against Dallas. So, what's it kind of like developing a rapport not only with Travis but also with Carson in the second half of the season?
I mean, it's normal. I mean, Travis is like he's my teammate, my homeboy. We cool. So it's not like something that I look at like, oh, we haven't had time or we haven't. I mean, I practice with these guys every day, and I'm just gonna continue to grow with them, continue to help them, continue to let them help me, and we'll collectively do this thing.
Les and then Tim.
Hey, Jalen, could you talk a little bit more about your family motivating you? What do you mean by that? How do they motivate you?
They motivate me by, always, they don't tell me I'm great. They're very constructive. My dad played 9 years in the NFL, and he's very constructive and he critiques me a lot. And that's why I have the character I have. That's why I'm the way I am, and I don't let a lot of things bother me.
Okay, thank you.
And then Kristen.
Jalen, can you talk about your relationship with Alshon Jeffrey and what you're expecting now that he's coming back potentially into the fold with you guys on the field?
Alshon is just, he's the vet. He's the big guy. Him and D-Jack, they're the veterans. They help us a lot. Alshon's been helping me since I got here. With the day I got drafted, Alshon texted me. He'll let me know, I can ask him anything. And even in the meeting rooms, even on the field or anything, I'll go run around. He'll be like, nephew, you could have done this better, or that was a good route. And then getting them back, we're just getting a great player back. And obviously you guys know that.
Kristen and then John McMullen.
Hey, Jalen, going from the veterans to you and the young guys. Can you appreciate the fact that, yourself, along with Travis Fulgham, John Hightower, that young talent that can potentially develop and foster over the next few years for the Eagles?
Exactly. That's exactly what that's what it's about. Seeing the older guys do it, seeing how they've done it for so long, and then just taking whatever knowledge, being a sponge.
John and then Mike Kay.
Hey, Jalen, we talk a lot about the chemistry between receivers and quarterbacks, Carson, Jalen, but how important is chemistry between receivers and playing together, especially when you're in those bunch formations and things like that?
It's very important because we got to communicate run blocks, switch releases, pointing out hots. It's a lot. It's a lot that goes into it, and we have a pretty good relationship when it comes to that. We talk a lot on the field. We communicate with each other, and we always make sure each other know what our assignment is.
Mike and Zach Berman.
Hey, Jalen. You've obviously known Aaron Moorhead for a really long time, or at least before you got here. What's that relationship like now, and how has he made you a better receiver?
He's very hard on me. He recruited me when he was at A&M when I was in high school. So I remember when I was in high school, I went to the A&M camp, and he made me go with the high schoolers instead of my age group. And he hasn't let up since I got here. He tells me when I'm doing good, and he tells me when I can do better. And he, like I said, he's hard on me, and I appreciate him for it.
Zach and then Jeff.
Hey, Jalen, we've asked you quite a bit about being a vertical threat, but it seems, at least in that Dallas game, they were really using you as a horizontal threat, if that makes sense, trying to get you on the perimeter in the space. What's the advantage of that, and how does that work into your skill set?
That just goes with me being, a dynamic special teams player, and just the background of me carrying the ball and the game plan. The game plan, that was the game plan, and like I said, they're gonna put me in the best position, to succeed. So I like I said, each and every week I just learn the game plan, go into the game, and make sure I execute.
Is that to try to get you one-on-one against a defender in space? Is that why they do it?
Absolutely.
Jeff and then Daniel. Jeff, your audio is breaking up a little bit.
I'll follow up a little bit on what does he routes is not.
Jeff, you're
Can you
breaking
hear me
up
now?
a little bit. We'll go to Daniel and then we'll come back to you.
Hey, Jalen, you mentioned your father a little bit ago. You also played for John Kitna in high school, and you came from an area in Texas that produces a lot of NFL players. How have you kind of seen all of your background kind of come together, over these past couple weeks in the NFL? How do you kind of feel the influence of all that now that you're, finally here?
I just feel like I'm, I was prepared for it. A perfect example is when I went to the combine. My dad has always prepared me how to talk, how to work around things, how to, present myself as a professional athlete and as a businessman. So, I feel like everything that I went through has prepared me for like this, this moment.
We have time for two more, so we'll go Rob Kessner and then back to Jeff.
Hey, Jalen, I wanted to ask about your first touchdown. In your head, you probably envisioned that with 70,000 fans and things going crazy, but instead it's nowhere near the same number. And you had to go over to that Showtime camera that they have. and celebrate with fans virtually. What was that like from your end?
It was the same as if it was how many ever fans. Like for me, like I play the game for my love of the game. Like, you know, I really, you know, with the fans and everything, like I love it. Like of course, who wouldn't want fans, but like, you know, that's still a very meaningful moment to me, whether it was 0 fans or, you know, how many ever, 100 million. Like, you know, that's my first touchdown. So it was gonna be a special moment for me regardless.
Jeff, we'll go back to you if your audio's working.
All right, can you hear me now?
Yeah.
No? You can hear me? Okay. Jalen, so what does it take to make those deep routes hit? Obviously, it's not just about you running some straight go. You know, and how difficult is it to really kind of connect what has to go into to make those deep passes viable?
It's like you say, it's chemistry. Like, you know, just getting a lot of reps at it, and then also being in tune with Carson and just making sure I know where he wants me, and you know, making sure I know what I'm doing. So it's just about, you know, connecting with the you know, the deep balls, and then having the chemistry and having the reps have done it, you know, throughout practice.
Seems like you've had kind of back and forth on the quad. Is this something that you feel is rectified, or do you feel like this is something you'll just have to play through over these next few weeks?
Hey guys, thanks for having me. No, I think the quad is getting better. It's one of those things that I think the last time I went out there, just that night game, I let it get cold and it just had a little a minor setback. But it's been doing very well. That bye week really helped me out, and I've been able to practice full go these last few days, well today. So I'm very happy where it's at, and I'm ready to get back out there.
Ed and then Les.
You missed the last Giants game, and you know, just having watched that, can you learn anything having watched that game, or you know, to learn to help you in playing in this game?
Yeah, I learned a lot. You know, it's nice to see our guys go out there and play our scheme, and then play a team you played twice in a row, because you're gonna, you know, you get to put this year's coaching into, and then, you know, I get to see Javon and Fletch go out there and do it. So I just put myself in their situation. The Giants are probably gonna block a lot of things the same, not many things too different. So just being able to see Jay do his thing on the right side just allows me to put myself in that position mentally. So I think it's helped me, and I think I'm mentally getting ready, watching the film from last game, watching those guys, to put myself in that position and go out there and be stout.
We'll go Les and then Mike K.
Hey, Malik.
Hello.
Speaking of the Giants, the offensive line for that team started out the season awful, and it seems to have really made a lot of strides since then. What do you see when you look at that group, the guys that you're going to be in front of you? How do you view them? What's going on there?
No, I see them. I can see the Giants put a lot of money and resources in there. You know, they have a few first rounders down there, and a few high pay guy in Zeitler. So they definitely care about the O-line, because they got that that second year quarterback back there. I think it's a stout group. I think they move people off the ball, and I think they know what they're doing, and they know who they want to be. They want to be the strongest, meanest group out there, and it's up to us to go out there and counter that and be the true strongest, meanest group out there. So there's some bullies, but I think we got a lot of bigger bullies on this side, so we'll see who's the biggest.
Thank you.
Mike and then John McMullen.
Hey, Malik. I was just curious, how is Matt Burke as a teacher, and how is he communicating on game days and working with you guys overall?
It's nice to have Coach Burke in the room, because it's one of those things, you know, he's with Coach Schwartz for a long time. He was a DC, so to be able to get a DC to come down to the D-line room and just break everything down to you, as far as the whole scheme again, the whole scheme of the defense is really nice, play by play. Coach Burke knows what he's talking about. He knows what he wants. He's demanding, but he's also fair. And I think that's all we can ask for as a group. And he has two good assistant coaches in Coach Washburn and Coach Nate Ollie. So I think we have a great group. Everybody bounces off each other, and we're out there doing a good job. Those guys came in this year and have really helped us. I know they've helped me with my stance and my get off and just understanding the defense. So I really appreciate them.
John and then Martin.
Hey, Malik. As you mentioned, you didn't get to play against the Giants 3 weeks ago, but you're a veteran guy. I assume you've been in this position before. When you play a team so close together that second time, are there any advantages or disadvantages to that?
I think the advantage is that you know the guy, you know who you're going against, you know how they feel, you know where they like to put their hands, what they like to do. But I also think the disadvantage is that you know the guy and you can get stuck in being like he's going to be the same person last time. And, people change and some people grow and change things just a little bit. So I think it's a two-way street.
Martin and then Zach.
Hey, Malik. I was curious, like from watching the Giants game, what did you learn about Daniel Jones? I mean, did he kind of show you things that maybe you weren't expecting?
I mean, he's a first-round pick. Any guy that's first-round pick, I expect to go out there and be great. I think he shocked all of us with his speed. I'm glad he fell down. I think he has great management of the game, and I think he has a good long ball, and he knows where he wants to go with the ball. I think the only down thing for that kid is just his interceptions and fumbles, but I think that everything else, he's killing it. So yeah, we really got to watch out for that guy because he can really beat us.
Zach and then Bo.
Hey, Malik, Brandon Graham's having a career year at age 32. You're not quite there yet, but you've been around. What does it take for a player to have that kind of season at that age?
I think it starts in the offseason. He's taking well of his body. He got his diet together. He got his mental right. He put a lot of hard work in. You see a lot of basketball guys saying they spend this much money on their body, this much money on their body. I think BG does a good job of spending quite a lot on his body, and not only his body, but his mental. And I think that's one thing that I've seen BG do well to keep him in this spot. He doesn't let things hinder him or bother him. He just keeps pushing. And that's one thing I admire about him, and I'm learning.
We have one more hand raise, so we'll end it here with Bo.
Hey, Malik, I saw you did the get out the vote thing on election day with Rodney. I'm just curious, do you think that like the amount of conversations you guys have about politics this year is different than past years? Has it been more so?
With Senator Rodney, I think it's been more. I think it's had to be more conversations. I think a lot of guys are true and honest, but I think it's one of those things that I think just the nature of politics and especially in this climate, some people don't want to share their affiliation, and I think that's okay. But I think we've had a lot of conversations about how people feel, especially from communities that I'm from, and how we see things. And I think it's nice to talk to guys, for example, like a Zach Ertz or a Carson Wentz, to see how they feel and have conversations about how they view without, seeing things and what we can do as far as a people and how we can just come together. So I think it's been nice just to hear guys' experiences and what they see and how they feel, and me have a conversation with them, letting them how I feel and maybe change their mind a little bit and vice versa. So I think it's been a lot of conversations, and I think it's opened a lot of guys' mind, and it's made guys okay with speaking on things inside a building that should be just football.